Okay, so now we're going to keep going, putting these page kits together. I believe I did 12, and now I'm at the spot where I'm putting the embellishments. And I had completely lost my voice after talking for like an hour and 15 minutes. I didn't have any more voice, but I want to keep building these page kits because I had 2 weeks left before my crop, and as I'm doing the voiceover, it's exactly a week from today. I do have all the 12 pages all gathered, but now what I need to do is keep packing for the crop and getting ready. So I'll be doing that this weekend because I go to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we leave Friday morning. So I need to be completely ready. And this is a great way, to get ready ahead of time. And so that when it comes time to get ready for the crop, that's going to be one less thing that I need to worry about. This stuff will be done. Now, I have to say, I did bring in a couple more things as far as, embellishments to choose from. I still have that container that was just a container that I had on my desk, and I was just throwing leftovers in there from, pages that I made. And I have to say, by the time I'm done putting the 12 page kits together, that little tray is almost empty. So it did exactly what I needed to do. My friend Evelyn was here over last week, and she said, what do you do? Like, I love the idea of making the page kits, but afterwards, what do you do when you come home and you have all these leftovers? And I told her, I said, I put it in a container like this, or I'll go through the bag and then I'll do extra layouts using my leftovers, because I hate having leftovers. That is one thing that I don't like, is to have leftovers. I don't want to start a system where I have drawers for my leftovers. Like, I have one drawer and they're all stuffed in there. And I don't want to start dividing them by color or anything like that, because my goal is always that when I do like page kits and stuff like that, is even when I'm done with these page kits, I know I'm going to have leftovers, but I am going to put them in a little tray like this. And when I make some new page kits, those are the ones I'm going to pick from right from the beginning, and to try to make those page kits, and eventually they'll get done. And this is my little container of my DIY embellishments. And so I got to use a few of those. And I mentioned this before, by doing these page kits, what I'm doing is I'm making it so that I don't only use white or black or vanilla as my background. I am using way more pattern papers, and I noticed that when I was running out of page kits from the 70 page kits that I made last year, whenever I would just randomly pick some patterns to make a page, I would always end up with a white cardstock. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, I just want some variety in my albums. So by doing it this way, I know that I'll have way more pages that will have pattern papers as the background. And sometimes I'll get to a page kit and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to use that as the background. I want to use it as a second layer. And I'll throw a white cardstock in there, because I found, I used 5 pattern papers and now I'm ready to scrap with white cardstock. I guess another concern is how do you find pictures to go with the layout that you've kind of put the pattern and the embellishments for. As I'm putting these pages together, I'm thinking of pictures that I might be able to use with these. And you'll see sometimes, like in my classes, I'll write it on a piece of a recipe card, and I'll put the pictures that I'm thinking of, and sometimes even the title. And then by the time I go to the crop, I'll have my journaling done. Now, the last crop I went to, I didn't get to the journaling, and there was a lot of pages that I didn't journal on while I was at the crop, because I just can't. I'm chatting and then I'll write the same word twice, but if I have it on a recipe card, I know I just gotta copy the words. So it works a whole lot better for me. And I'll do, I'm at that point right now where I got to choose the pictures and do the journaling for these pages. And I still have 3 days off before I go to work. And then the crop is going to be after my 4 days of work. So I really want to get this done this weekend. So as you can tell, I kind of bring back the pages that I put together. And at this point, I look at the color combo that I chose. In this case, it's a craft background and a bit of pattern papers. And these were scraps. I found them as I was unpacking one day. I had a bunch of scraps and I just threw it in that little basket where I want. It's different than that little container. I have another basket that I keep in a drawer, and it's scraps that I want to use right away. Now, I mentioned that I brought in some different stuff just because I wanted different embellishments because my little container is getting low. I have another one of those dollar store plastic containers that I put all my Studio Calico chipboard. I don't know if you remember those. You could get them, all containing hearts, all containing cameras, and then you could buy them in blue, in yellow, in wood veneer, in light blue, in pink, in red. You could get in gray, in all kinds of colors. And I still had them in the little cases that they came in, or the package that it came in, and I never used them. So what I did was I opened them all up. I didn't worry about putting them by color. All I wanted was a place where I could just go grab it and have it all in one spot. And I like going through something and finding the right embellishment and the right color. So that's what I did. And now I can just go get it, and I bring it to my desk as I'm putting these page kits together, and I'm just pulling out some embellishments. Again, this is my little tub of DIY embellishments. So I have my pinwheels that I just put up the video last week. I have my fringe embellishments. I have my flares. I have my embellishments made from leftover die cuts and everything, and everything's in there, so I can just grab it and use it on some upcoming layouts. Now, these are some printed labels, and these were when I was a member. When I got the Studio Calico kit, I used to get the digital file, and then I just got it printed at Staples. And you can do it online, and then I would just go pick it up, and I think it costs like 30 cents a sheet. It's not very much. And so I found, while I was unpacking, I found this big baggie that I had all my labels in it, and I'm like, hey, I haven't used those in a while, so get to using those. And I went and grabbed again another embellishment. This is a photo holder, and before I had my little tray, I would just put the leftovers in one of those, and so some of those trays, some of those photo boxes are not all from one company. It's just all mixed. I like this idea of keeping it on my desk, and as I'm done a layout, so when I do, let's say that layout, and I have some leftovers in there, I'm just going to throw it in that little container. And then when I do my next set of page kits, because that seems to be the way that I scrap, I rarely just go upstairs and say, okay, this is the pictures that I want to scrap. Let's find the pattern papers. Let's find the embellishments. I usually scrap the other way. And I know it's not, I guess, the way most people scrap, but for me, it really works. It's like my brain gets accustomed to doing one thing. So I get all my pattern papers chosen, I get all my embellishments chosen, and then I choose my photos, and then I do my journaling. And then once I have for in this case 12 page kits done, I can just start scrapping, and then once I've exhausted those, then I start over again. And this is the perfect thing to do. You know, the times where you feel like you want to be in your scrap room, but you just don't have the mojo to do anything. This is the perfect thing to do because you really don't need to be thinking about, how to cut your pattern paper. You just take a stack of pattern papers or some paper pads, in this case is what I did, and start ripping out. Get yourself a nice little stack. Start putting some pattern papers together that you like, and just do that. Like, don't do one and then choose the embellishments. I find your brain has to go back and forth that way, and it makes it difficult it takes longer to get those page kits together. Now, between the last session, which was an hour and 15 minutes, I believe, or an hour and 13 minutes, which was real time, and this is a 20-minute video, but it's sped up times 4. So it was about the same amount of time, about an hour and 15 minutes. So in 2.5 hours, I got 12 page kits ready. I have the pattern papers chosen, and I have all the embellishments. And the last time I went to a crop to choose my photos for approximately 20 page kits, took me 20 minutes. So that didn't take me long at all. And that's going to be the step that I'm going to be doing today. And today is Friday, and we are, what date are we? We are April 21st, which is Friday, which is exactly a week before I go to the crop. And so I'm excited that, my page kits are ready. Now today I'll be doing choosing the pictures and then starting on the journaling, and then I'll start packing because my 4 days on, I won't be able to do that because I'll be working, and when I come home I go straight to bed. And then Friday morning my friend is coming to pick me up because the crop is an hour and a half away, and she's picking me up, and we're going early so we can help my friend Evelyn to set up for her crop. And then I think we're going to do a bit of shopping, go to Costco and stuff. So that'll be fun. I don't think there's any scrapbooking store where we're going, but that's okay. We'll just have fun hanging out and going out probably for a meal before we start the crop. And that's always fun, spending time with your friends, right? And so this page here was the pink pattern. And as you can tell, my little container is getting a little less in there, and that's awesome. And because the reason that I didn't use them on previous layout wasn't that I didn't like a specific embellishment or whatever. Maybe it didn't fit the photo perfectly. The saying was just a little off. Or maybe I had pulled so many embellishments that I had too many embellishments for the page kit that I pulled. And that's fine. I'd rather have too much than feel like I'm missing something. Now, some of the extra stuff that I bring for the crop, or I didn't bring for the crop that I'm going to bring this time, is my little word stickers. And I keep them all in a drawer, and I'm going to bring a stack of them. I might go through them and make sure I have, one white, one of different colors, and then bring those along. I'm going to bring some of my tiny alphas, so my Doodlebug mini alphas, and probably my mini markets, and make sure that I have a good variety. And then I go through my thickers, and I bring some thickers, maybe in black, in white, and a few different colors. And where I have a little bit more time, I might actually go through my page kits and see which thicker would go well. Doesn't mean that I'm going to use them for that specific page, but at least I'll have the option, because when you're away, you can't just walk to your around the desk and go get your thickers. So it's nice to have a little bit of options. And then I'll show you exactly what I pack. I usually bring a little bit of cardstock, and I'll show you that too, and then a little bit of mixed media stuff. And I found last time I brought a little too much, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't use. So this time I'm going to pack a little bit more conservative, and so I have even less stuff to bring, which last time I had just enough, for something my container to pull, a container that sat on top, and then my little bag that all my tools fit in. And then I have my a bag that I have all my page kits in, and that was it. But I even found that was a little bit too much. I'd like to have my extra container sit inside my wheelie container, because then I wouldn't have anything on top that would be flopping around. But I will show you exactly what I pack, and I'll my husband retyped all my packing lists, so I'm going to get him to put it up on my blog shortly, probably this weekend, because we have the weekend off. So this weekend I'll get him to put it up, and then you can see the kind of stuff that, it doesn't mean that I bring everything on that list, but it just makes me think of stuff that I could bring. And then depending on the type of crop I go to, I might bring different things. Like before, when I would go to my friend's crop, I would bring my Cricut and a few cartridges. Now I've kind of stopped using my Cricut as much, almost not at all, which I need to start using it again. But when I go to crops, it's okay if I don't have my Cricut. I'm okay without going there without it. So even though it's still on the list, because some people still like to bring it, so I left it on the list, or things like that. And I put my iPad, my iPhone, cords, everything that I noticed that, man, I wish I had that when I go to these things. I put it on my list, and then as I pack, I think, do I really want that this time or not? And then I decide whether I pack it. And then at least when I get there, I'm not like, man, I wish I had that, when I had the option to bring it and then I decided not to use it. Or not to pack it, I should say. This is something that I do also when I want to catch up on a show that I'm watching, that I'm not watching with my husband. I put it on my TV upstairs in my scrap room on Netflix, and then I just watch TV shows, especially if I'm not doing the real time. The real time I can't watch anything, because then you would hear it in the background. But a lot of times I'll do this. I'll just prep some page kits and I'm watching a TV show, so it goes by really quickly. Now I think coming up next, this is, I believe this is the last page, or I might have a couple more that I still need to put together before I start pulling out the pictures. But for this page kit here, this is Amy Tangerine, I believe, the pattern paper. And I went into my cardstock already, and I grabbed 3 cardstock that I knew would go so well with this page kit. And I pulled 2, I showed you the colors there, and it's pulling from the colors right from that pattern paper that's sitting on top. And now I'm going through my DIY embellishments, and then I'm going to go through the embellishments that I have beside my desk that I pulled especially for this, putting these page kits together. It's a great way to get through a lot of embellishments. Yes, I won't be using them all on these page kits as I'm putting these page kits together. But sometimes what I do at a crop is, let's say if I do a page for this, and if I'm still loving the pattern papers a lot, before I take another page kit out, I see if I have enough to get a second page out of that same page kit. And then I usually bring an extra stack of little photos, so I'll go through that and say, is there a photo that I could use with this leftover page kit? And then I'll do a second page right there at the crop right away, so that by the time I'm done the second page, there's really not a lot of embellishments left over. And I think that's going to complete it for this time. I'm going to turn off the video, and then I'll come back, and because as I was putting the stuff away, I found a half sheet of pattern paper that I had just used on a page from a last page kit that I had put together, and it went really well with this page kit. So I just kind of pull it, and I'm going to stick it in there. And again, I don't like scraps. I just want to put them on layouts. I went and got some labels too. That was something else that I pulled. This is just a little stack of different labels. all different companies, and I love to start my embellishment clusters or to add, little finishing touches to your embellishment clusters. And that's it. That's going to complete it for this time around, and I'll come back soon with the photos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.